Welcome to the Nexer Community Podcast, and we have an incredible guest joining us today. Mariana is a product manager at Microsoft, a founder, an investor, and also an awesome content creator. We're going to be talking about how she got started in tech, how she transitioned careers, her tips for personal branding, and also her thoughts on the importance of AI. We're also going to be talking about some top networking tips and content strategies that actually work. So this episode has so many awesome insights. Grab a coffee, settle in, and I hope you enjoy. Mariana, welcome to the Nexit community. So exciting to have you here. You wear so many hats. PM at Microsoft, founder, investor, content creator. What first got you interested in tech? Were you always a techie kid? Did you take a different path and make your way into tech? How did that go about?
This is awesome. It brings me back to my childhood in the Bay Area. I was surrounded by parents who worked in tech, a very tech-focused career and education in elementary and high school. When it was my turn to decide what I wanted to study, I actually applied to coding camp called Code with Classie while I was in high school. I didn't know if I liked to code, so that's why I applied to better understand, hey, is this a career path for me? And so I applied, I won a scholarship. It was a 2-week camp with a model called Carly Kloss. It was an all-girls program, and I was really excited. I got to go into San Francisco for 2 weeks in the summer and learn how to code. And I created my first app, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I can build something on the computer, help people, and make an impact. The community of girls and what I learned was really impactful to me. So I was like, took another camp later on, decided to take more coding classes at my school and joined the robotics team at my high school. So that really kickstarted, I think, my career into tech. So I had no idea what I wanted to do until that camp opened my eyes to the possibilities and the impact I could make.
Shout out to Carly Kloss. When I was in high school, I found that program. I was desperate to get in. I couldn't make it to the US, but I was thinking, wow, that looks like such a fun program. That's really cool. That was the moment that helped you get to, oh, this is where I want to be. So when you applied for college, you were zoned in. All right, computer science, that's the thing for me.
Yeah, I was pretty zoned in. My dad has worked in tech his entire career, and in high school, he handed me a deep learning book. I had no idea what deep learning was, neither machine learning, and this was way before it became popular. I was like, let me read it without knowing anything. You just Google stuff. It's like learning a new language. That opened the horizon for me and made me understand I wanted to do computer science. I studied computer science at university, and that's what I applied to. And then later on, I added on a mathematics degree as well because I was drawn to more of the STEM field. My university was like, hey, you can just get another degree. And I was like, why not double dip and get 2 degrees for the price of one?
That's pretty good. And if you were to give a raw review of what it's like to learn about computer science and maths at university, what did you think that was like?
It was really hard. The closest comparison I could give is learning a new language. You need to learn the conjugations, what to do almost, and everything has some sort of pattern and framework in language and in coding languages. When you're learning how to code, it's not only being able to express yourself in code that you can also do in language because they're different parts and people are drawn to certain parts of coding as well. Maybe it's design, maybe it's front end, maybe it's back end, maybe it's full stack. So there's a lot of creativity involved, and that's the fun part. You get to express yourself in different ways. The industry allows for that as well because there are different disciplines within it.
That's actually such a thoughtful way to look at university and the way you had to learn it. For myself, when I was studying computer science at uni, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I kind of expected it to be all about programming, even with the wrong idea about what computer science is. I was shocked at the first algorithms paper. What is data structures? But it sounded like that was part of it. Welcome to the Nexer Community Podcast, and we have an incredible guest joining us today. Mariana is a product manager at Microsoft, a founder, an investor, and also an awesome content creator. We're going to be talking about how she got started in tech, how she transitioned careers, her tips for personal branding, and also her thoughts on the importance of AI. We're also going to be talking about some top networking tips and content strategies that actually work. So, this episode has so many awesome insights. Grab a coffee, settle in, and I hope you enjoy the joy.
That was definitely a part of the joy for me was I think being able to solve different problems in different forms. It was definitely challenging. Some classes kicked my butt. Every computer science student can relate.
Yep.
It's not an uphill journey all the time.
The thing about university is there's so much going on outside of studies. So like I was noticing that even during university, you were taking up internships. Would you mind sharing what you did at university outside of classes and tips for making the most of that time?
Of course. One of the best pieces of advice I can give is immerse yourself into actual practical application through internships or some sort of project or even creating your own startup because that's going to give you the actual real life industry experience that people are going to look for and big companies are going to look for, or that will even help you create your own startup in the future. So while I was at uni, my first internship was as a software engineering intern at a startup called Uplift. If you've booked an airline ticket or some sort of vacation, they do loans for vacations and traveling experiences. I realized there that I like to code and solve problems, but if I don't see the impact or I'm alone, this isn't really for me. I love to code to solve problems I'm driven towards and not necessarily coding for like another company that I didn't see I guess, the end goal or the result as clearly. That's when I transitioned into product management. I had an internship at Meta that was really interesting where I was studying about user-driven research and learning about marketing and product placement, which led me to be more interested in product management. So I decided I'm really interested in entrepreneurship and starting my own business. I joined the entrepreneurship program at my university, which opened many opportunities and was like one of the pivotal points in my career. I was able to learn so much from amazing mentors and about how to create a business, YC, Tam Sam Som, creating a pitch deck and pitching to investors. I joined a friend and we kind of uh, entered into the startup competition. We ended up winning. And then the next year, I ended up competing and having my friends pitch in with my own idea. That's where Quantify was born, my own startup. Those competitions fueled my product management career because I was able to leverage those experiences, the pitching, creating a product, creating UI, UX mockups in Figma, pitching to investors to land my PM internship at Microsoft, and then I transitioned full time.
Can I ask a question on each part of that journey? Like we will break it down a little bit because this is so
Yeah.
interesting. First internship, my goodness. How was that experience finding your first internship? Did you feel like it was hard? Did you think there was something you had to do to show, like, take a chance on me? It's my first internship, but I know I have something to prove to you.
Networking helped me land my first internship. I wasn't the top CS student in my class either, but definitely understanding that I really loved and telling the interviewer I really love to solve problems and at least prep with Leak Code and HackerRank really helped me along the journey. But if you can, I think getting your first internship is really going to help you better understand how to interview well as well. My first legit interview was for my first internship. It kind of lays the groundwork and the foundation to getting your resume ready, learning what questions you want to ask the interviewer, understand like what do I need to study, and that's when you go through the Google and YouTube rabbit hole of how to land this internship. But networking helped me get my first role at Uplift, and I'm really grateful for that. Leveraging people in your network, alumni through your school and your uni, taking coffee chats with them, or if you have friends in who are like older than you, who have gone to like a company you want to work at, ask them for advice. That will help you grow in that industry or at a dream company you want to intern at.
Yeah. How did that networking look? And we can go beyond the Uplift days and talk about networking in general. People might say, oh, networking, like I'll try attend an event. and talk to someone? How do you do it personally?
I networked a lot with alumni at my school. I'd go on LinkedIn and cold message people and asking them for coffee chats. And once you have like some sort of like first or second connection that you can relate to somebody with, whether that be school or a sport you play or some sort of extracurricular, or you're both interested in the same field, some obscure thing, that really helps you lay groundwork in some sort of common area for you to later talk and learn more and maybe lead to a referral or a good connection down the line. So go into networking with an open mind, not knowing where that connection will lead. I've had a lot of my mentors over the years become my friends too. So it's been really sweet. And now we stay in touch, chat once a week or a month, and share personal lives. So just be open to whatever can happen, because maybe it will lead to like an actual friendship and a business relation as well.
Oh, quick fire question on that. Do you
Mhm.
have a cold message that worked especially well?
All of the cold messages I sent to my alumni worked pretty well. Always say you're a student if you are at uni. People have a soft spot for that, and they have a higher open rate in my experience if you do say that you are a student and you're looking to get into XXX field, or and also add that you want to be like that person. I aspire to be like you as a product manager or engineer. That helped me in my cold messages be able to just ask someone for like 10-15 minutes of their time if they're willing to chat about their career journey and their time at your university together.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Mhm.
and actually on that note, I'm guessing now that you're producing content, I'm sure people have reached out to you before as well. Has there been a cold message you really liked receiving? Something that felt like a change from the usual cold message?
I love the messages where people will point something out that I've done specifically in my past. Like, oh my God, some obscure detail that tells me that they have taken the time or the attention to actually learn about who I am, either from my LinkedIn page or my content. I find that really sweet because I'm going to value your time if you researched me and are interested in how I can provide value to you. So I think those are the ones that touch my heart the most and that I'm always inclined to reply to.
Yeah, that's really, really sweet. No, shout out to those people and those messages. I can't believe that was only the first part of that journey. Um, I was also very interested when you talked about that switch to product management. Was there anything that made it feel scary to switch into product management? And how did you manage that switch by the time you were looking for your next internship?
I was really scared to switch to product management. It's not like there's a degree for product management either. So you're like, what's going on? But I was really scared because product management is also a really competitive field. There's definitely more software engineering spots open than product management spots. I was pinholing myself into a more competitive industry, especially getting out from university. You're not expected at every company to enter as a product manager. That narrows the field down. I wasn't sure if I had the right resume or experience or even fit the mold for it at the time. Every company is kind of looking for a different expertise or a little bit of a different niche, especially in product. When I was reading How to Crack the PM Interview back in the day, I think the book is a little bit outdated now, but they go through the different roles and qualities that all of the top tech companies look for, and how you do have to position your mindset in a certain way to appease to like the Meta or to appease to the Google or appease to the other big tech companies that have entry level PM programs. I did have to learn to think more critically and always about the user first, which was a very different um, thought process and critical thinking design process, I guess, in my mind than when I was coding and creating projects at school.
If cracking the PM interview is not as up to date, would you say there's like an equivalent now?
That's a really good question. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day too, and I'm like, there has to be like a cracking the PM interview version 2 because a lot of ideologies have shifted. Now there's a lot more artificial intelligence coming into play. that also segues into new thinking about creating and building products for customers. Honestly, my favorite resources have been podcasts. Podcasts are up to date, and also Reddit r/ product management is really good. Thinking like an entrepreneur is well regarded, and that's kind of how you want to think as if you're a product manager, is like you are an entrepreneur in your space. You're trying to build new products and features that your customers will like. And how is that going to drive revenue within the overall product or structure of your company? Those are my favorite places to stay up to date. The groundwork is still there for cracking the PM interview for entry-level PMs, but you do have to attack problems differently nowadays with all of the new tech coming out.
As someone that thinks about product and how like products work, how do you think AI has changed that or influenced that?
Has made the process a lot quicker to iterate and test. You can spin up MVPs in a matter of minutes now instead of having to like code their line by line, which has been really helpful. It's expedited many new things like market research. You can have it brainstorm, but there's also exploring and experimenting with AI, and then there's actually incorporating AI into your product. And so like even for me, I'm still learning like how am I supposed to use AI to my best ability to benefit my customers and integrate it seamlessly into their workflows. So a lot of that is still new to me, and you have to talk to the customer. They're learning to use AI in their daily life too. It's a mutual connection we're trying to find and weave together, because I'm learning and using it. I want to better understand how my customer can leverage it best into their workflow.
I was gonna save AI until later, but I'm really curious about some of the things you mentioned, so I might dive into a few questions now. You mentioned AI has helped with building prototypes, like MVPs of a product quickly. Do you
Mhm.
have your favorite tools to do that?
I really like Claude to spin up code snippets. Claude has been the best for me. Also, there's Versal, vo.dev. That's really helpful and powerful. I go back and forth between the two. Those have been the two tools I love using a lot and tinkering with. Chip Nguyen makes good books on the machine learning lifecycle and on more like advanced machine learning topics as well. She's a very big thought leader in the space. But a lot of like the actual applications is primarily done through like learning how somebody else is doing it. At least in my perspective, this is the way I learn best. Learning how someone else is implementing it, and maybe with a bit of a different spin or a different use case, and then applying same sort of learning to your specific use case and implementing it through a project. And also, if you are just randomly scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, there are so many like AI ML creators out there who give you little snippets. Maybe you won't learn like a completely in-depth full like coding tutorial, but you're going to get ideas and better like understanding of these underlying concepts that are really important.
Nice. With learning AI, it sounds like from the moment that you were already building Quantify, there must have been something that told you AI is going to be really important. And the time you built Quantify, I would say that was like slightly before everyone else had caught on to it. What was it about AI that made you think, oh man, like this is it? And how important is it to learn AI looking into the future as well?
I was looking for a competitive edge. The financial industry hasn't been like the most, it has a lot of regulation, so it hasn't always been the most on trend. But I was trying to get ahead of it at the time when I was starting out. I think one, it's super important to learn the applications specifically of artificial intelligence. If you're a business owner or if you're in tech, it's going to be like pinnacle for you to learn how to interact with it, understand how to build systems that are best for your customers to leverage with AI, because it's going to speed a lot of workflows up. And it's going to help automate a lot of mundane tasks through agents or other applications that have been really hot.
Oh, wow. What was it like to build Quantify while studying as well? Because I noticed I don't think there was a period of time where you had just one thing. Tell us how you layer these things into your schedule or like into your daily life.
Time blocking is really helpful for me in terms of time management and being able to fit as many things as I possibly can. Being able to stick to a routine in the morning is really helpful because I'm more aware of my time. There was a YouTube video from Ryan Serhant one day, and it was like, I only have like this many minutes in my day. Like, how am I going to use like all of those minutes in my day to maximize my time? And you want to make sure that every minute of your day is being used in a useful way. Whether I need 10 minutes to scroll on my phone or 1 hour or 2 hours of deep focus time, I'm going to acknowledge that and time it and block it on my calendar. So I think that has been really, really helpful in better managing my schedule. Giving yourself a set of time for each task. Like, okay, I have to send an email to this person. I'm going to time block 5 minutes to get it done. And if I run over, like maybe I'll have a little bit of a buffer for something else, but I'm going to try to get it done within that 5 minutes because for me, it's like I gamify my time in a way, and that helps me get things done quicker. My day starts the night before. That way I can better be prepared for the next morning and what's on my schedule, setting those weekly goals for myself.
In the standard week, do you get to touch on every single thing that you're involved with? So work, social media, battery, product house. Like, how does that look across the week?
Sometimes work picks up and it gets hectic, so I have to put things off, like understanding that some things take more time and that's okay. Urgent things come up and wait until the next day. And being able to prioritize your tasks are really important. Maybe I'll batch content on the weekend, like a coding videos or prompts are released to product house or social media. I'll just block out a 4 hour chunk of time on the weekend, for example, to get that all done. And then sometimes I'll just be like scrolling in bed and like editing those at night before I go to sleep. So just being able to find little pockets of time where those little miscellaneous tasks can get done is helpful too. But I'd say being able to prioritize and time blocking are like the two key things that have helped me most.
And yeah, on that note, like it'll be really fun to talk about content creation and the story around that. How did the journey with creating content start? When did you film your first video?
I started creating content in the summer of 2023. I just landed my role at Microsoft, and a lot of people and students from university wanted coffee chats with me. They wanted to talk to me for advice and tips on how to break into tech, how to break into product management, how to learn more about artificial intelligence. As I was taking coffee chats after work in the summer, I just moved to Seattle. And I was like, a lot of people are asking the same question over and over again. A lot of people there's a demand for product management and AI content, and two, people a lot of my audience is having the same problem. So let me create like a little place where everyone can go and see like the questions that people are asking me. That way I can reach more people who actually want to hear about my advice and my experience. That's when I started posting on TikTok. It wasn't until last March, the March of last year, where I started cross posting them to Instagram. I was like, maybe Instagram would be a good spot. That's how the content journey started and continued by listening to my audience. It has morphed into more AI and ML as the trend has risen. And that's what I really enjoy talking about as well. So it's more in line with my current goals and niche, I guess you can say. But yeah, that's how it's been going.
And I have to say something I'm gonna especially call out is that the content is doing incredibly well. Seeing the way you've continued to create content that's super relevant, super valuable for students and like the audience that you're speaking to, and to see the audience grow in size. Did you have specific goals for content creation when you started out? Like, have things like gone beyond what you were expecting? What was it like?
Yeah, I was just trying to help people when I started. And honestly, being a little selfish, I was trying to not have to take so many coffee chats and answer the same question again and again. But I really wanted to help as many people as I wanted. with the advice and the experiences that I had. And that was my goal, to help people at the beginning. It's turned into such a big community I never expected. I didn't think I would get so many people and touching messages. I'm just thankful for everyone who enjoys the content and supports it, because never in my wildest dreams have I imagined such a big community to like really value my expertise and my advice.
Yeah. And I think starting and filming that first thing might have been like, oh my gosh, how do I look in front of the camera? How should I present myself? What do you think has changed like in your approach to filming as well?
Oh my gosh. I was so nervous in front of the camera. It would take so many takes at the beginning. I was nervous. I was shy. Um, how would people react to me? I'm just a new girl in tech, spewing facts, data, and coding tutorials. But you have to get through the cringy part before you gain confidence and believe in yourself. People just interacted with the content, and that made me a lot more comfortable and supported me, and that helped me grow in my content creation journey. I had a lot of friends who were also like fellow content creators or fellow followers who reached out to me personally, like would DM me in the early days or comment on all of my videos, and that really kept me going. That has really helped me as well in my journey, and listening to your community. What do you want to learn from me? What are your goals for 2025? I try to create content that I know people want to see and is relevant to their career journey as well.
So we actually asked before this interview, like, what questions do you have?
That's
Um,
so awesome.
yeah, so many of them is about content creation. One says, hi, Mariana. I would love to know, what is your toolkit for creating content? Do you have apps that you use or things that you recommend?
hmm Only thing I use to create content is a little tripod from Amazon, and I use my phone to film, the iPhone 15, nothing special. I just edit inside the TikTok app. That's my editing toolkit. I edit everything into TikTok, and then if I post to Instagram, then I have to post to TikTok, but only to my account.
Only to your
And then I upload to Instagram. So yeah, no CapCut or any other softwares. I'm still new to CapCut, so I'm trying to learn, but just TikTok.
That's actually so impressive, though. That's really impressive. I think some people might start saying, I have this huge tool set and it goes through 3 steps before I upload it. But to know, like, start simple. Don't overthink it. You know,
Mm-mm. And oftentimes I will like record in the TikTok app normally as well. So I don't even use the camera.
actually crazy. Wow, I'm so impressed. I have filmed like a few TikToks, and when I did it, I was already starting to think, oh, I bet the big content creators out there, they have maybe some secret sauce that makes the video so clear, so good. Hmm. That's tea.
No.
That's actually tea.
Anyone has any camera recommendations? I've been thinking about it, but that's still in the future.
We have another community question. It says, hey, I am wanting to start out this year, but I don't really know how I can stand out with my content. Really love your style. Don't know how you came up with the hair flip hook, but keen to just know how you ended up finding your own style.
I think just try and experiment with different things a lot. The hair flip was honestly an accident that came to be. I was just coming into the frame and I forgot to edit that part out. I didn't edit it quite clearly in the first video. People commented on the TikTok and it ended up going a little bit viral. And so I was like, maybe that's like something I should be doing more. And like people say, oh, like have a good hook or something. I just experimented with it. Stick with something that makes you you and that you really identify with, I think is really helpful too. And don't be afraid to show your community who you are. I love cars and watches, and my community is drawn to those things too. And so I really like to post, whether it's not usually a reel, but maybe it'll be a story, and they love seeing it. So don't be afraid to be you.
Because now that you mentioned it, I remember it was a part of your Instagram page, F1 golf or
Yeah.
traveling to Japan. It got me curious. I'm like, oh yeah, get to know this person better. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I have one more question. This one is from Michael. Michael says, "Hi, Mariana. Keen to know how you ended up growing your audience or what's worked best for you in growing that audience online."
Listening to what your audience wants to learn about you, I think is the tea. The real tea is I get a lot of my content ideas from what people post in. I will put a poll up on my story and be like, hey, what do you guys want to learn about? Or what are you having a difficult time learning XYZ? Or what's a concept that you don't fully understand in the ML space. And that's honestly how I get most of my content ideas directly from you. Creating content people are interested in will help your not only help your community grow, but they're going to be thankful because you're providing true value to them in things that they're interested in. So that helped me grow and accelerate listening to your audience. Your Instagram and socials are almost like a product. You have to iterate on the style of video, the content, the value that you're bringing. Maybe you have to incorporate some other hook or some other thing, and your users will give you feedback on the new video that you want them to create. So it's almost like your personal brand and your content is like a little mini product that you're building because you have to iterate on it as well as you go through your journey. There's going to be new technology or new topics people want to learn. But like I mentioned, don't be afraid to start posting and creating content if you're passionate about it. And don't be afraid to be you is definitely the best piece of advice. And just iterate on an experiment with your own personal style and work with what you have. I just started out with my phone and I'm still using my phone.
That's true. That's very true. Oh, by the way, I missed a question from one of our community members called Kirsty. And Kirsty wants to know, "Hi, I'm starting to create content this year, but I have a feeling like if I don't write the right captions or don't use the right hashtags, my videos are not going to get seen. What is your experience? Do you have any tips?"
When I started out, I tried to use captions, or I wouldn't even have captions, like closed captions or subtitles on my videos. It was just me talking with a title of what I was talking about. More important than hashtags or captions is providing value to someone else who needs it, is really the key part about creating content that people are really drawn to and that will make them hit follow. Think about it as a user of social media. What makes you follow someone? Entertainment value, educational value, free digital products. It has to create value for someone to be drawn, at least in my experience, for me to like actually want to follow this person and learn more about this person. So just maybe take a step back into your user's view and better understand what is making someone like want to follow me as an individual. And if you find your way there, I think you'll definitely find success if you're bringing value to somebody else with your experience or with something fun in your life that you're willing to share.
Nice. There's like this running theme in the advice that you share. Don't worry about distractions to your core value or like the core message that you want to give to the world. So, yeah, like that's a really, really good point.
Like you'll see a
Yeah.
lot of people like super short clips, and a lot of mine is usually multiple clips or like one long take. And so also it helps me optimize my time. Side note, but um, just like little things that you think bring personality to you. Maybe it's different angles, maybe it's adding little graphics that really like make your personality shine through, and that's what makes your content unique too, which is important to display when you're creating content and you're trying to gain following.
Thank you very much. A lot of the community questions are about content, so I'm really glad we got to talk about this. Okay, final question. This one is a little bit more about just navigating the tech career space in like Seattle and San Francisco. Do you have any specific advice for these tech hubs in the US?
I've really found a lot of value by going to in-person events. Actually, now that there's more events going on, more people are willing to sponsor things. And I've been finding a lot of events on websites in big cities like Luma or Eventbrite or meetup.com. And those have been super key in building new friends, new connections, new networks, and opportunities, which I find you don't want to go maybe the traditional route of cold emailing on LinkedIn. It's fun to see people in person and you can learn about something while you're there as well. So I'd say in-person events has been one of my favorite things recently to go out and do. And two is, what was I going to say? Go find things you enjoy in those hubs, whether a sport or recreation or something outside of like a career focused thing. And you're going to find that since these are really big tech hubs, that you're going to find people who you didn't expect to see or meet as well. They may have a connection that can help you on your career journey. So that's going to be really helpful. So not only you're kind of like double dipping, and it's kind of like going back to the point I said earlier about messaging someone you have something in common with. So it comes from a more genuine place. And also, don't be afraid to use AI tools. Start learning, start playing with them. They're at your disposal for a reason. Just start exploring and building things, and it's one of the quickest ways you'll learn something new.
Thank you so much. That was such a nice way to finish our conversation. Mariana, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to share this with the community. Well, if there's any way people would love to reach out and like connect with you even more, would you have a place that you'd recommend?
Yes, if you want to connect with me, the best way is through LinkedIn or Instagram and shoot me a DM or email me at mariana@quantify.co.
Thank you. And shout out to Mariana's newsletter as well. There's a newsletter. I think it was called Coding. There was something about, oh my gosh, I lost the name. It was like at the top of my head.
It's called, why am I even blanking on it? Code and Capital.
So make sure to give that a follow as well. It's a really lovely newsletter. I really appreciate your time. Hopefully we can connect again. Wishing you the lovely rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Lovely speaking with you as always.